Hey guys. Hey Chirpy, Brendan. Sorry about the noise violation. Hope you're okay. Stuart, g'day. Bill, hello. Matt, g'day. Fridge, g'day. Dan Shed. Jim Minnick, g'day. Good morning. Mark Osborne, good morning. Or good evening. Wazza, hello Wazza. Russ Knox, hi. What's news? Wazza's selling a truck. If anyone wants to buy a truck, it's in Sydney. Absolute bargain. It's got tyres on it. It's got a porthole in the roof in case you tip it over, which is very useful. I'd say it's ex-military. Yeah, if you want a project, hit Wasrup. He's probably got one that he'd get rid of. Paul, good day. Darren, hello. Some space on the workbench. I've actually been using this workbench. It's actually dirty, which is awesome. A couple of projects I've done and started into another project that sort of started a long time ago, and I'm getting a little bit done on it. And trying to sort out some bolts too. So it's a problem. I've got a bolt problem. I really do. And it's sort of a work in progress, but I do have a bolt problem. And this is what I'm doing about it. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Let's move this. Shift the GoPro. There's a GoPro downstairs. I know, Chirpy, I just try to put bananas in my ears when you start on that. Stephen Lang, g'day. This is what I've done anyway. This is what I'm working on. These boxes with the pull-out departments are kind of a pain because bolts fall in underneath, they get all mixed up. So I've printed these. This is M2 and M3 basically. This one I did a while ago, which is complete. And this is BA, so 2 to 8, or yeah, 2 to 8 BA at this point, which is the sizes I use all the time. So that one's pretty much complete. This one we're working on still. There's boxes here everywhere, bolts here everywhere. Russell, g'day. Got your email, Russell. Haven't got to it yet, but thanks for your email. David, g'day. So these are the answer, I think. I've labelled all these and I've put sizes on the sides. I don't know if that's good or not, but they're metric bolts. I've got a lot of those. I've actually been printing more of these for 5mm bolts. I actually run out of orange filament here, only just. So I've got probably enough for M5 and M6 bolts for a start in another box. And that should take care of that problem. Kevin, g'day. What time do we watch the eclipse? The eclipse. Someone in Queensland will be able to give me that information, I'm sure, straight off the top of their head. Fridge says now, I think. Has it started? (11:11). That's time they... We'll go out and have a look in a minute. We'll let it get underway a bit. Here's a little 3D print. I've got the file for this if anyone wants it. Oh, we'll go out now, Warren. Thanks. This is a knob pull for a Kennedy toolbox. Anyone who's got a Kennedy toolbox and a 3D printer and wants some of these, I'll send you the file. Otherwise, yeah. Did these for Mr. Pete because he's missing a few and he wanted the file, so did that for him. I'm not sure if he ever printed any, but that works fine. That's pretty awesome. So let's go and have a look around the yard anyway while we're here. We'll go handheld. Don't know how much you'll be able to see. If we have a good look, floor's getting a little bit more empty, but there's still a lot of stuff to go away, as you can see. We've got a light out here anyway, which is neither use nor ornament. This is where we're at. There's the fire engine. It was a bit overcast. It looks like that might have cleared up a bit. What's the screw polishing tool? Do I have a picture of a screw polishing tool? Do I have a screw? I have one somewhere. I've got no idea where it is. Sorry. Darren will have one. So, where are we going to put this? It's the gym across the street. There's not really there's a bit of a problem with light pollution here. If I go too far that way, the dude's security lights will all come on next door. Don't know about this, but we can try. I'm really confident this won't work. Where are we here? It helps if I don't put my finger over the lens. And we're not getting a particularly clear picture of that. I can see it plain as day. We're about, I reckon, probably half, something like that. But astrophotography is not my thing. We're getting zero focus there. Hey Dan. So it's got a flat side there, but that's about all we're getting. I'm going to try zooming out again and see if that's better. Not really. Not real good. My finger's over the mic. Is that all right? Is that better? We're seeing the shadow there in the middle on the lens. That's probably a better indication, because that's not really showing us. Apologise for that, but I don't think this is really the camera. Let's try some filters here, see what we can find out. Well, that's kind of weird. But it's sort of showing it better than anything. There's a flat side there, but we're still only getting... Yeah, not the best thing for looking at the... Anyway, not getting much there. We're about halfway, but not much good. Anyway, we'll have a bit of a look around. Probably we can't see a thing, I'm guessing, here in the dark. I'll come out in the daylight at some point and we'll have a look, but it doesn't happen on live stream. If we come over here, we'll turn this guy's lights on for a minute. There we go. So that's better. So this is the complex in the dark. There's the fire engine. So enough of the fire engine. There's another gate across there. I don't know if you can see that. I'm over there in the corner behind the fire engine with the light on, and the rest of the complex, and there's a gate here on the front. Across here there's a gym that seems to run from about 5 AM through to about 8 PM. I think they're finished now, but you can usually hear it from here, so it's kind of nice to... Yeah, it's an old International. It's not quite as old as the one that has got for sale if anyone wants a project, but it's a Echo, I reckon. It's a fire engine body with the second cab on it. It's a 1810. There you go, International 1810. Can't see that, but the grille says 1800. The door panel says 1810. The chassis number probably says something else. Getting more light pollution, and we're still not seeing that Eclipse, but I think the Eclipse is probably not worth the effort of watching with this. But there you go, it's actually happening. grazing goggles over the camera might be the answer. Let's go on and find some. See what I can find that might help. So this is number 9 down the end. Hey John. See, Everett had a new video with the hashtag ShopMade Tools today. Haven't seen it, but looks like it's probably a pretty good video. I just saw it up on the I'm going to leave that there and we're going to find some goggles. We'll try to. Now that should nearly make it impossible to see. Anyway, what else is happening? Been at work all day. We'll give these a clean. I'm sure an exposure adjustment's all that's needed. On my tablet, I'm not sure that it's actually got that much high tech, to be honest. We'll go and have another look. Might zoom on that. Take care, Matt. Yep, got absolutely no idea how to make an exposure adjustment, Craig. Good to see you anyway. Anyway, the eclipse is happening. It's nearly dark out here now. It's YouTube. Don't expect miracles. But you can't really see that. It's about 60-70% now. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, that's boring everyone to death, but you're still there, so that's pretty amazing. Looks like the gym's shut, which is excellent. Means I can get some sleep. It'll be open again at 5 a.m. and blasting music. So we've got a couple of builders here. We've got refrigeration guy. We've got a vehicle wrapper there. Oh, that's me with the lights on. We've got a battery place. We've got a flooring place there. One next to us, I'm not sure what that is. So there you go. I don't think we're going to see much more. We're still, but we're sort of down to about 80%, something like that here. So there we go. That's our brush with astrophotography. It's a total waste of time. Anyone who's interested in watching it's probably outside watching it, I'm guessing. Oh, it's bright here. Sorry about that. We've got these everywhere, just in case. Not sure why, but there you go. Probably they were free. Let's fix this. I'm getting used to the sound. We'll see what it's like on video because I'm recording a video at the moment or at some point during the day. Have been recording a video, so we'll see how it goes. I'll see what it is up like. In other exciting news, we'll go over here. Wobble a bit. The subscriber count is in place. It's reading 7,010, which is exciting. Not where it's going to end up. It's probably going to end up on one of these boards somewhere when I get them fixed up. Also got a bit of a project up there just for fun that I'm messing with. Something I've had for a long time and I just need to sort it out. Now, this is the project. Have a look at this. This is awesome being able to do this. This is really pretty cool. The code of cleanliness has definitely exploded. Chirp, some wet paint here. Can you see that? No, can't see that. Anyway, boiler bits for Chirpy. That's what I'm working on. One of the projects I'm doing with Chirpy at the moment. And a wheelie bin. Gold Coast Suns. How awesome is this? It's bin night last night, so the bin's empty. Please don't start posting me. Please don't start posting me egg cartons. Please. Anyway, I can show you this because we've got room. This is the project I did yesterday. A bit more. So this was all leftovers. I found some casters. I don't know if you can hear me out there. You probably can. We can try. I can't see the screen, so if I do that. Had a bit of a piece left over off the end of the lathe bench when I made it, and I was keeping it for a special occasion, but there's no point keeping it. Had some other stuff here. So it's got a place in the back for putting them in, for putting small pieces in, and a frame or an angled frame at the front for larger sheets and 4 casters on it. So that's my new sheet rack, which I'm pretty happy with. But that's made entirely out of scrap that I had kicking around here, and it'll be all right. Should be excellent. That sign actually come back. It's been halfway around the world, that sign. Don't know why it has a run on it, but it does. It's a bit strange. But yeah, that sign's been halfway around the world. I actually painted that in place in the west side of London. Yeah, no idea now. In Carter's Yard. Hey, Tom Make here. I painted that in Carter's Yard, at Joby Carter's Steam Fair Yard, when I went and did a course on fairground art in 2016. So it's sort of a keepsake, but it'll probably get chopped up or repainted or something at some point. That name was chosen because there was a steam engine kit that I had here for a while and finally convinced the original owner to build, and he did, which is awesome. So that was a bit of a victory, but I didn't need the sign for video intro after that. So, Echuca is a town on the Murray, and it's sort of famous for river boats, steam paddle steamers. So anyway, that was done at Carter's Yard, one of several. Yeah, Fridge was there not so long ago buying up. So we have all this clear space again, which is pretty amazing. This isn't really my space over here. I want to keep it clear because I believe that when this furniture that's over here disappears, this furniture here, and that bed that's over there behind that box, you can just see it poking out there. There's more of it. That there's going to be a boat park there, but it belongs to the landlord. So at this point, that's not a huge hardship. It means we've got a bit more outback space, but because the boat's out there at the moment. But I want to keep this clear so he can get his boat in and out on the weekends. I have got a box of Markland HO track there for sale. If anyone's interested, it's on Marketplace, but hit me up if you really want it. There's some pretty rough stuff there and some reasonably good track. $50 a lot. There's 42 pieces. Anyway, shameless plug. Anyway, this is another project that, well, not even a project. I commissioned this from an elderly gentleman, made this for me in Toowoomba, which is about a couple of hours to the west of here. Oh, it's heavy. There we go. It's a tool chest. We'll move it back over here so you can see. So I'm really not happy with the top of it, and I'm not going to show you that because I'm going to do it again. This one's gold leaf, and the rest of it could be too, but I kind of really like this. It's a nice job. And the ends aren't shabby either, but about the same time, 2016 or something like that, I picked this up. And it's been sitting around in the way. So anyway, yesterday I actually put paint in it. That's pretty cool. So paint's in there. I'm not going to pull that out. You can't really see. But brushes in there, etc., etc., etc. So, new paint box. At this point, I'm not sure I'm happy with this. I did it quickly the other day, like a month ago, probably just before I moved. Probably it's going to get rubbed back at some point. 624 Dudley, good day. I don't think I said that, but anyway. So that's for a new paint box. It's not new because I've had it sitting there for nearly 5 years. So anyway, but it's a work in progress, and every now and again I get it out and do a bit. So what else is happening? Don't know. There's the end plates off Chirpy's boiler. I don't think it's Chirpy's boiler. I think it's actually my boiler, that one, but they're over there. Mart's back from walking the dog already. The dog's probably not happy, but he'd come back early. Bike over there is a 1950s, early 50s Lanano from Lanano with a G from Italy. It's reasonably tidy. It's only a fairly small bike. Probably tidy it up and move it at some point. It's all there. It could do with a bit of a scrub for a start. As far as restoring it, it's probably never going to happen because I've got another one to restore, and when I look at it, my thoughts really on getting the thing chrome or nickel plated and tidied up. There's $1,000 worth of nickel plate on it probably. So that's where I sort of stopped on that one, because realistically I'm not sure I'm particularly happy to put $1,000 into a 1928 push bike, but it might happen. I might straighten the frame out and I might clean it up, and we'll have a look at it, make some decals and put a coat of paint on it and tidy it up, and I think it's going to get enamelled. I'm really not sure about that. The Dutch seem pretty fussy about leaving them as is, but it is pretty rough. So by the time we straighten it out, it's going to be a lot rougher because it's going to need some heat, etc., etc. Who wants to look at the frame? Is anyone really interested in this? Craig. This is pretty dusty. It really is. If anyone's got an asthma problem or allergy problem, you probably need to look away. But these guards are pretty straight. This is the front guard, and that really is pretty straight. It's nice. And this one's remarkably straight too. It could do with a little bit of work. But this is the back one. It's got holes for side lacing, which is awesome. All round. And it hasn't had any major prangs or bends, so they will clean up pretty good. This is the frame. That's a brace on the back guard or somewhere. Actually got 2 pins for a bike pump, here and here, in the time-honoured tradition. This back here, if you can see that, if we look all the way down there, it's got a nasty bend in it that way. Bullock Duncan Bullock, if you're watching, I'm going to need your help on this if we straighten it out. But this is quite seriously bent this way. I'm not sure why. Oops. This is all cable brakes, or all rod brakes. And I've got all those bits. Some of them need remaking, but we're on to that, and I've sort of made a start on that at one point. So that's a fairly spindly frame, really. It's a fairly big bike with a lot of body in it. It's a 28-inch bike, so it's quite a big bike. But I'm suspicious that this seat post has got a bit of a bend in it too here somewhere, so that's something else we're going to have to straighten out or replace or something. This is a parcel rack, which has got a few nasty bends in it. It's not quite straight. And that's a sort of an integral part of the structural thing on this bike. So that's going to have to be right. This, of course, is the chain guard. This had canvas around it, which is, I have copies to, I think it's probably canvas or burlap or some sort of a synthetic material. I think it could have been leather, but I'm not sure about that. Got a pattern to make that, but it hasn't happened as yet. So that's the chain guard. Forks. This way are reasonably straight, but this way, can you see that? I don't know if you can. One of those is bent back, so it's obviously been run into something or it's had a prang. This one here is kicked out this way a bit and it's bent. It really wants to go sort of back that way. So not sure about that. And then all this stuff needs to be chromed or plated anyway. So, bit of a job. Look, this was out west. On a farm somewhere, someone's picked it up and it was fairly complete, but some kids abused it in the last 100 years, 80 years, something like that. So it's a bit of a job. This piece, of course, is fairly important, but this needs work, and I really don't know where to go with this, whether to make another one, or whether to fix this one, or how to do it. If anyone's got any ideas. These holes through here, you see those? They should all line up. They sort of do. But they're slogged out a couple of millimetres. This is for your lever brakes, your brake levers. Here. Send it to Tom for restoration. There you go. These need line boring and building up and line boring, which seems like a really difficult thing to do. There's 4 of them there. Whether I unbraze them and put new ones on, or whether, see, this has got a bit of a bend here and a bit of a bend here as well. So that's all a bit ugly. Honestly, I'd like a new set of these, but finding a new set of handlebars like that anywhere in the whole world is going to be almost impossible. Some bits fairly easy to find. These are Baldwin rickshaw brake pads. How cool is this? This is spot on, exactly the same as it was in 1928. Right, BSA or Gazelle bearings, brakes are pretty much the same as they use on rickshaws in India. So if you jump on eBay, you can find rickshaw brakes pads like this. This one's got Johnny written on it, but not particularly expensive and straight out of India. So I've got rickshaw brakes, new old, no, brand new, still making them, thousands of them. Take care, Chirp. Brand new, they're still making them, every rickshaw in Calcutta and all places in between. uses these brakes, apparently levers and same system. So there you go. No one's modernised anything. Good to see you, Chirp. So they're still available. This here is the brake system. So this actually has a 3/16 rod, an 1/8 rod, which tightens down on there to pull this. It's got a spring that goes back on the chassis, and your brake pads go on here. And these go in holes in the frames to hold them in place, and when you pull this up it works the brakes. So pretty awesome. But all those bits are there. Some of them are pretty rough, some of them are going to need remaking, a lot of them are bent. So there we go. So out of interest, there's original brakes. And there's the new one. So basically the same thing. A little bit different angle here probably. But yeah, still making these. Now somewhere I have the original badges for it. There's a front badge which is Gazelle, and the back badge that goes on the back of the guard above the reflector. So they're there. I've got everything here, so I need time too. That's where we're at with that. So anyway, there's 3 boxes of bits here. One of them's got saddlebags and chain guard pieces, things like that in it for patterns. Put a sax on it, Bill. And one of them's got brake parts, and another one's got spokes and mechanical parts. I've got 2 brand new wheels, brand new rims, and I've rebuilt a Sturmey heart jar hub with the right number of holes. So it's a matter of getting the rims chromed and putting new spokes in them and getting them tidied up and pumping the tyres up there. And then we've got basically front and back wheels. However, there's a fair bit of capital expenditure in the chroming, and I'm really putting that off because I don't know how far I'm going to go with that. But there we go. That's the 1931 Gazelle, which is basically a BSA. with a bit more size, because it's a Dutch bike and Dutch people tend to be a bit taller, so it's a 28 inches, a fair lump of a bike. In some comparison, that little Bonanno there, which is Italian, which is made for people who are Italian, I don't know if you can see that, but the wheels are about 4 or 5 inches bigger. So well, that's a thought too, but the money is not in the nickel plating. If it's ready to nickel plate, it's not a particularly expensive thing. The money is in getting it ready to nickel plate, which is the expensive thing. Stripping it and bead blasting it, and then maybe filling the holes and straightening the pipes out and things is probably something I can do. And then nickel plating is not particularly expensive, but most of the work in this is in filling up the flat spots and making it so the plate's nice. Don't have a press, and I don't really have, no one has room for a bead blaster. They're messy, rotten things. But I'm sure there's someone around here in the Marine Precinct who has one. They'd like a couple of cartons of beer, but we'll see how we go with that. But these are a bit of a mess. But these need, I don't know whether to, if I could set this up somehow and line bore it, would be really awesome. I don't know how you do that. Whether you, I don't have any answers for this. But these really need boring out, and they could do with bush. You could just press bushes in them, which would be all right. But or you could press bushes in and weld them. But you also need a pretty good vacuum cleaner, because sand gets everywhere. Mart's got a fair point. You could just ream them from this side and ream them from that side, and they probably don't line up anyway. That's probably fair. But the brake levers, see this box? It's a huge box of bits. Let's have a look here. What's best? Not like this. Sorry guys. Let's make some room here. See, this bench is really, it's counterproductive, because you think you've got space, but you haven't really. Let's have a look. We've got a tube. We've got some Sturmey Archer bits. We've got a front. Genuine front Gazelle hub with the right amount of holes for the rims. We've got this, which I don't think is leather, but whatever it is, this is the chain guard originally. Right, we've got enough bits to draw this out and get it laser cut, and then maybe stitch or rivet it together. I think it's a bit of a mess. We've got saddlebags, enough here to make a pattern for 2 saddlebags, or that's the 2 saddlebags there. These are canvas. Pretty cool, really. You can't see that, but that's them. We've got some brake springs. We've got what may or may not be the original saddle, and the rest of what may or may not be the original saddle. I don't think it is actually. This is the rest of that. This is headset stuff. It's got the Gazelle in the lamp bracket. Probably the original light. Front end stuff. We have a brake lever. That's what I was looking for. So that's how that works. Sort of. Not sure that's the right side actually. I think it could be. They go underneath like that. So that's the brake lever. And they've got little coil springs on here. And then rods and levers. So this is probably actually not particularly bad once you straighten it all out. I don't know how badly worn that is, to be honest. It might be lucky. I think that was the saddle that was on it. It's not a Brooks, but usually it's written on the back here and it's not, but I think that was the saddle that was on it, and it might go back on. We've got some guard pieces, which are definitely off the Lanano. We have a penny farthing seat. Don't even ask about that, but we definitely have a penny farthing seat. That might be for sale. Anyone wants one of those? Anyone wants a penny farthing seat? There's one there. I bought it complete, so I know sort of how it goes back together. I've got lots and lots and lots of pictures. So I have a film here that's got "to develop" written on it, so I probably should do that. More brake blocks, valve caps, bits and pieces, valves, that sort of stuff. Sturmy Archer hub, ready to go. I'm not quite ready to go because this one here is the right Sturmy Archer with the right badge and everything on it, and that's going to go back on and I'll put it back together. So tin ball bearings. We have a crank web with Gazelles in it, which is really nice. Pretty solid, it's pretty heavy. Tin full of oily bits. We've two crank webs, which I actually straighten out at some point. My video doing that's probably my most watched video, I think. Another brake lever. Two pedals off something. Got no idea what, but they're not off this, and they're also both the same thread, so they're both left hand or right hand. Not particularly useful, and they don't match. There we go. I actually got a bearing puller. There you go. I was looking for that at some point. That's where it was. We could put that away. There's the brakes, or the reverse brake, which all seems to work. Freewheel brake on there. How do I straighten the crank arms? Gas, and quite a lot of it. There's another pedal. same as that one, like both the same side, not particularly helpful. One's usually threaded left hand and one's threaded right hand. There's a hole saw. There's a little bit more leather off something or something off something. Here's the bell. It's one of those crazy turn the top bells. So there's spokes and crap in there, and a lot of them. So there we go. That's one Gazelle bicycle. There's another cardboard tube over there sticking out that's full of major brake lines or major brake rods with all the ends and everything on them. I've remanufactured all those. Still not finding the badges, but anyway, they'll be in another box here somewhere. I know I saw them when I packed up. We have the original combination bike lock. It's there. And horseshoe bike lock. Yeah, Russell, I reckon it was stamped. I'm not sure. If you noticed at the beginning of this video, I had this bench pretty well cleared. Unpacking and organising, still in work in progress, but it's getting there. I'm finding all sorts of stuff that I didn't know I had, to be honest. There's the headset. This is nice. It's actually the 3-speed selector, which has got Sturmy Archer on it, the right time period, all that sort of stuff. So it's got high around there against the bar, or low around there against the guard, intermediate, and high back here. So the Bowden cable's a bit tired in places. But things like this are big dollars if you've got to go and source them. So the bike's pretty complete. Take care, Mark. Good to see you. I don't know where anything is. I found my tape measure. It's here on the bench. I've put it away several times. I found a home for it, so I know where that is. I've got pegboards up. I still have, the main problem I still have is all this stock in boxes. You've got to find somewhere or some way of storing them or using them or something like that. But apart from that, and there's still some machines I've got to find homes for. A bandsaw and tapping machine and stuff, which is over on the workbench. I just found a roll of film and a gear puller and a box of bike boots. Yeah, they're that. And a penny farthing seat bill. This is a fairly early seat. It's a bit rough. Don't know who painted it blue. but the springs look all right. But this is a very early saddle of something. I've got no idea what. So, both those items were things I didn't even know I had, to be honest. So, might list that, see if we can sell it. No idea what it's worth. It probably has more bends in it than it's really worth getting fixed. Or not even sure if you can fix it. So, anyway. It looks particularly comfortable, yes. So that's the Gazelle project. All I have is a lot of bits, right? I've taken apart and assessed the damage, and it's got to go back together. Some bits, like saddlebags and cloth chain guards and lacing and stuff like that, we'll think about when it actually happens. But mechanically, the main hiccup or headache or rebuild of the brakes and some of the missing brake levers. And yeah, straighten the frame out. So I guess the best way is to make some sort of a jig of that, but not sure when that's going to happen. Speaking of reality, Bill had a picture on Discord of at 12 o'clock. At 12, I shouldn't say that about Bill, but at 6 minutes to 12 or something in midday, he had a picture of his chair sitting beside the fridge saying he was waiting 10 minutes to get a beer. But there was that conversation. I feel like I've already had that today. Discord's an awesome place. You want to have a talk to Bill about reality, go and check out the Discord server. It's not actually linked, sorry, but it's well worth a look. Craig's not there because he thinks that his reality is actually doing stuff rather than sitting around chatting. But we're all pretty good for a chat. We're all pretty good fun. Anyway, I filled up an hour and 10 minutes of pointless dribble. And you've had a look at the Gazelle. I would really, really, really like to get this going in the next 12 months. I'd love to have it up and running and fully restored. See if there's any. Can't see if there's any traces of decals on here, and I don't think there is. I would say that at some point they've been painted over, but I've got decal artwork. The serial number is here, which tells me 1931. Apart from that, it's pretty standard, same as any other bike. It's just a bit bent and a little bit light, probably, and not really designed for being ridden like a BMX and jumping and stuff like the kids would have used it for in the 50s and 60s. So it's going to need some work. This lever here is here. This is all pretty dusty, sorry, spider webby. It's been put away for a bit. This lever here is working with a spring in it. This pulls the rear brake, which operates in here underneath the frame. And it's got a rod up the front here. And there should be another lever which is missing that goes around this end of at the bottom of the the bottom of the fork tube here, which operates the rear brake. So that needs to be made. It's basically a lever here that pulls this lever this way, and it's got an arm like this. When you pull the brakes, it pulls it that way. So it's got some sort of a spring in it as well. I've got all those bits, but they're pretty rough. So the lever is half drawn out, sort of looks something like that. It's the right centres for it. But I reckon it was punch and die. I mean, BSA were a big company worldwide, like crazy big, and Gazelle was a department of BSA. So the Gazelle factory would have imported bikes or exported bikes everywhere. I'm not sure they exported to Australia. I reckon this come from with a Dutch immigrant, to be honest. But they had a big factory. I mean, Sturmey Archer was sort of another company that they owned. So they were a pretty big company. All these brakes and everything have like proper oil caps with the click over tops. This is the rear sprocket, which is pretty worn actually. We're going to have to find another sprocket for that at some point. So it's another challenge. And whether we can get the right pitch chain's another thing. I think we need to, because of that front sprocket, because I want to keep that. But then we've got to find a rear sprocket with the right number of teeth to match the chain that works on the rear sprocket. So John McNamara, g'day. So yeah, Gazelle is a big company, like they're a crazy big company still. And even just the local market in Holland was crazy big. And still is. Anyway, I wanted to look at a stupid project for today. That's what we got. And I still don't have the badges, which have got to be here somewhere. I do have the original rubbers out of the pedals and the pedal rods that go in between them, which are square, but not even a little bit sure where the nameplates are. They're in a box here somewhere. Now I'm going to have to find them. Did find this. Craig, you're right. It's a combination square. I don't know how old. It's got made in Germany written on it. I've got the ruler somewhere, but the ruler hasn't got any measurements on it. It's kind of one of those sort of rulers. So it's flag brand. No idea when or what part of Germany or when. But that's there. It's got the scriber in it still. Look at that. And it's got a level that looks like it probably actually sort of works. It's got a bubble in it anyway. So look, I know where the ruler is because I put it away, but I'm not going to get out and show you because it's just got made in Germany written on it and there's no actual measurements on it. So there we go. Anyway. Anyone wants to buy a Lanano, Italian ladies step-through bike in reasonably good condition for a restoration project. It's all there. The brakes and everything work. I don't believe that it's just a single speed. It's got a tin guard on the chain. The sprocket says Lanano. It's got fairly tidy guards. It's black with a green stripe. Hit me up because be interested in selling it to fund other projects. Probably I'm just going to tidy it up and see who's interested in it and swapping something. Sorry about the ads. I'll give you a minute. Anyway, Boy Racer project. I was going to have a Kickstarter going by July. I haven't worked on it. I haven't done anything for a month. 2 months probably. I'm feeling a bit like that's drawing to a bit of a halt. I'd like to get back in and get some stuff done. But at this point, prototyping's a long way out of the picture. So we'll see. Anyway, we've made a mess on the bench again, as you can see. Everyone wants to go and look at the Eclipse. Geez, guys, look at this. What do you do to me? Seriously. In that box, or one of those boxes there on the floor in the foreground, or in another box, or in the bottom of that box is the name badges. I've got a feeling that they're in the cardboard box, that lid that's sitting on top of that chain box is actually part of. So, normal mess. It was a clean bench, so I'm going to have to do something about this. But anyway, I'm going to call it. Thanks heaps for tuning in. A little bit of entertainment, and I didn't sort of drag you away too much from your clips. If you want, seriously stupid projects, or inspiration to not actually take on stupid projects, come and ask me, because I have a lot of them. It's not that box or that box. Hope I can find them, because one of them was on the bike and one of them came from Germany, or from Holland, I think, from the old Fritz bike club was purchased. Anyway, they're a great bunch of guys, and yeah, they've been pretty helpful with this project so far. Anyway, I'm out. Take care, guys and girls. Be kind to each other. I'm going to have a video up before too long. There's a project I'm working on which I'm a bit excited about. That might be fun. It's just a quick project for the workshop here. And be kind to each other. More soon. Thanks to the new subscribers. Really appreciate that.